Hi everybody, I'm Britt Savage for WooFDriver News, coming to you live, bringing you all the great dog stories and news stories from around the world to wherever you are. Well, I hope you're having a great weekend. I'm having fun here. I can't wait to get started with all the fun things that are going on. Big weekend at the movies for dog lovers. I'll get to that a little bit later, but I hope you're having a really great weekend. And I want to tell you I appreciate you guys tuning in and sharing this broadcast with everybody. It means a lot to all of us, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what we have coming up next week. It's pretty exciting, so just hang on. Let's get to the first story. This one is really cool. It's about, well, do you have a big dog? I don't know. I have a medium-sized dog, a 20-pound dog, but this is about a story about Rocco. He's a Great Dane, and he's big. I mean big, really big. I got to show you a picture. This is his owner. And I got to tell you, her name is Jessica Williams, and he's also owned by Nick Helms. But this is Jessica, and she's about just a little over 5 feet tall, like about 5'3". But this is her with their dog Rocco. Look at this. Look at that dog. Look at that dog. Woo! Jump. That is not a lap dog. I mean, that dog sits in your lap, and that may be the end of your lap. That's what I'm saying. Excuse me, but let me say, couple says Rocco is really sweet and has no idea how big he is. When they got him, right? They got him, he was about 8 weeks old. They said he was about the size of a Labrador Retriever who was 6 months old. So that's going to be like, I can't do it in the camera. You know how big that is. It's big. He was big as a baby. He eats 8 cups of food a day, drinks a lot of water. He can actually drink his water right out of the kitchen sink. Pretty crazy. Well, he's gigantic. They live in a 2-bedroom apartment. And they have a couple other dogs too, but Rocco loves everybody. He's a great dog. They told these funny stories. One of them was they loved traveling with him, and they brought him down to a beach. And it was one of those ones where you can let your dog loose. They let him loose. He said people were screaming and running. But you know, if you saw a dog that big, I mean, he's gigantic. It would be like, what is it? It looks like a puppy. And they said he does crazy stuff, like they're forever being whipped with this gigantic tail, like whipping back and forth. You know, you can imagine how long that tail is. And they said that he unfortunately farts a lot. Said he's very gassy, which they said Great Danes are. I thought Boston Terriers were, but said they are. So they said when that happens, look out. You know, so it's pretty crazy. But they said a lot of times they'll see him if they take him for a walk. People are walking down the street with their kids, and they'll cross the street to try to get away from him. Pretty crazy. Hey, it looks like people are joining in. I see Joshua Miller. Hey, Joshua. Marcia Ramirez saying hi, Britt. Hello. She has a little dog she told us about called Charles. Charles is so nice. And we have Marty. How's everybody? Oh, it's Mary. Hey, Mary. Emma. He is handsome and huge. You know how sometimes dogs they kind of got big, but it looks like, I don't know, somebody put all the wrong sizes together. He looks very balanced. A handsome boy. I agree. Mike Waldron says hello. Bucky Harris. Have you watched Bucky's show? It is so funny. Bucky Harris is one of the hosts here, and he does a show where he comes up with all these songs about each dog breed. So let's say you have a song about a beagle. He'll say, I saw a beagle, it looked like an eagle. Okay, better than that, believe me. But he writes songs about each breed, and then each show he'll profile that breed. So he might say, oh, beagle is from the hound group, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But he'll give you all cool insight on that one breed, and he'll do a song about it. So it's pretty cool. I did hear his Daniel the Spaniel. I heard that. But he does a lot of cool stuff. I know he was doing 2 songs for pugs, because maybe pugs deserve 2 songs. I don't know. They are really cute. Hey, Jessica. WooFDriver says hi, too. Lena. I can't see him. Hang on. I'm going to show you. Lena, here he is. Look at this dog. His owner is about 5'3". He is 7 feet tall. And at the shoulder, like from the paws to the top of his back, he's 42 inches. So he's big. He's really big. So here's the deal. They're waiting to say, hey, Jessica, how was your day? It's been fun today. I spent some time with my chickens outside. Some of you guys might have known one of the shows I brought my chicken in, and she sat right on my lap the whole time. I'm going to bring the other one in. I think that'll be fun next time. I was checking them out today, and I was like, they're molting and they're broody, so they're missing a lot of feathers, and they look a little nakedy. So I don't know. Maybe I should wait for them to look a little cuter, but I may bring them in, and I may bring my dog in, but she would be like licking me and jumping, but I got to do it. I got to figure it out. But let me see. Oh my God, how cute. I agree. He could play center in the NBA. Mike, he's so funny, that Mike guy. Is that a Great Dane? Yes, it is a Great Dane. So here's the deal, is they're eager to get this dog to be in the Guinness World Record book, right? But there was another dog. This dog's name was Zeus. Zeus was even bigger. Now that dog, you may have seen him, he's got like a gigantic head. Unfortunately, he died as just a 5-year-old, and that was just a couple years ago. So they're waiting for, they're very, you know, with the Guinness World Records, they're really particular and have to make sure everything's right. And so it's taken a little longer, but so far there's no other dogs who are saying they are as big as Rocco. So I think he'll get in, but they said, you know, they love the dog, whether he is the world's tallest dog. That's kind of what they're calling it, because it's not really the biggest, it's just tallest at the shoulder. So what they say is they're just feeding him and trying to take the best care possible. He's only 2, so he may be growing, and he may even surpass, because he's 42 inches at the shoulder, or no, 40 inches, and this other dog, Zeus, who passed away, was 44, but being he's only 2, he could still grow, so he doesn't have to surpass it, but I could see how he could be one of the biggest dogs that's ever lived. But they said they don't care about all that. It would be really fun to have him in there, but they're mainly just trying to keep him healthy, keep him exercising, eating well, and, you know, they just love him. But if you're thinking your dog could win some kind of an award from Guinness World Records, I have a couple things, because you might not have a gigantic 7-foot dog, but you may have other things. Yeah, that's a Great Dane, Jerica. I love that name, Jerica. Hey, Carol Grace Anderson, hello to you. If you haven't checked out Carol Grace Anderson's wonderful show called Paw Prints of Wisdom, you've got to do it. She's a world-renowned public speaker who just wrote a book about dogs that's available all over, and any Cracker Barrel, go on in there and you can get it. And she's just a wonderful woman, and she has a lot of wisdom, and she thinks she got a lot of it from dogs, so how could that be bad? But I want to let you know of some of the other contests maybe your dogs could win. Here's one. Mr. Jeffries, a Basset Hound, who's the grandson of, do you remember the Hush Puppy shoes? Might be before your time, but Hush Puppy's shoes were really popular. And they had sort of a dog that they used in all the promotional stuff, and that was a Basset Hound. This is the grandson of that Hush Puppy dog, and his name is Mr. Jeffries. And he's in the Guinness World Records for the longest ears. Can you imagine how long that may be? It's just under 12 inches, just shy of 12 inches. So that's for one ear, it's like a foot. Pretty crazy. Then we also have the world's oldest dog. World's oldest dog is Max. It's a Beagle, Dachshund, and a Terrier mix. This dog lived to see 29 years, which is almost 3 times the length of a regular dog's life. I mean, some dogs live really long, but as far as an average. So that's pretty cool. Definitely a long, happy life. Now, what's the longest your dog ever lived? Do you have dogs that have lived a long time? I had a cat, Marvin, who lived to just under 21 years old. And I had a horse who made it to 33 years. And I actually owned him for 25 years. So that was a long pet to have. Really cool. But I haven't had any dogs that have lived a really long time. How about you? What's the longest any of your pets have ever lived? Let me know about that. Then we have Brandy the Beagle. Brandy the Beagle wins the Gene Simmons Award for the longest tongue, 7 inches. Look at this. This is all going like Halloween back here. Turn it back on. I've got the secret power at my fingertips. Yeah, Brandy the Beagle, longest tongue, 7 inches. What do you think about that? And then this is a contest that kind of, they had it, then they lost it, then they had it, then they lost it. One of the most hotly contested records, it's a balloon popping. You ever see those dogs that jump around? There's a whole group of balloons, it's like pop, 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 all that kind of stuff. Well, this dog named Twinkie Jack Russell just won the contest. She was able to pop 100 balloons in 39.8 seconds. And here's the deal. her mother, that dog's name is Anastasia, had one for many years, was the world's fastest balloon popping dog in the whole planet. And then all of a sudden this other dog, Callie the Wonder Dog, goes on Britain's Got Talent, and last year in May wins. So this dog, Callie the Wonder Dog, beats Anastasia, and it's just an awful upset. And then all of a sudden, Anastasia's little daughter Twinkie learned the skill and came back to get the crown. So it could go to anybody, but congratulations, Twinkie. Bucky, have Milo, my cat, made it to 21, no shots ever, living in Santa Cruz, Redwoods. Wow, Milo, 21. Now, when you're saying made it to 21, does that mean Milo's still around, or, Mike Waldron is making a joke. He said, I only had a dog live to be 1. I know he's kidding. I've known several of his dogs. My friends are nutty on here. But I will tell you a story about a 21-year-old cat. One of my friends, maybe about 10 years ago, planned this whole birthday party for his cat who was turning 21. And it was a catered thing. I lived in New York City at the time. He worked in film. So it was this big catered, invitation only, beautiful catered affair. And the cat died before the birthday. And I'll never forget being in my New York apartment and getting a very upset phone call from him saying, what do I do now? Do I cancel the party, or do I have a party, but then I'll be really cranky? And he ended up not having the party, but it was awful. But you know, if a cat's living to 20 or 21, they've had a real good life. I was surprised. Mine did really well up until a little bit before. It was really very good. And same with my horse. He was still getting around really well, and you know, but that's a long time, 33. You don't see many horses that live longer than 33. Gone a while. Oh, Milo, that is so nice. Debbie says, my kitty made it happily to 23. 23. Wow. Deb, that's amazing. 23 years old. Hey, Coleman. All these people joining. Well, here's a story. I want to get a nice picture out. A favorite member of the staff at Ballard Duran Funeral and Cremation Services in White Plains, New York, is a 2-year-old golden doodle named Lulu. Let me show you this picture. Oh, look at that face. Look at that face. So cute. Okay, let me get back to the story. Matthew Fiorillo, president of the funeral home and Lulu's owner, says Lulu provides unconditional love and support as well as a subtle distraction from grief. A trained therapy dog, Lulu seems to know just who needs her most. It's really an unexplained phenomenon. It's amazing to watch. She'll come in a room and just poke her nose at them, and it just seems like she knows immediately who the mourners are. But she doesn't yet always. She just comes in and puts her head in their lap. Lulu's available, like people want them. I guess some people maybe wouldn't want a dog at their loved one's funeral, but they said about 90% of the people who have their viewings there, cremations, do opt for Lulu to come in and help out. And he was saying even at home, like, you know, the dog goes back and lives with them, but he said the dog never stops helping people who are grieving. He said that his brother-in-law died, and so when his sister came over just to visit, the dog, Lulu, immediately could sense that she was grieving and went right over and just put, you know, just kind of his head in his sister-in-law's lap and just gave, you know, some comfort. So he definitely, Lulu has, I guess Lulu's a girl, has definitely a knack for helping people grieving. What about you? Would you want a dog at your funeral? I think I would. As long as people weren't like tossing frisbees or something. I mean, I want the place crying. I want the jumping in the casket, shaking the corpse. I want all that kind of, she can't really be gone. No, I'm actually getting cremated, but shaking the urn, she can't really be gone. You know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think a dog at a funeral home sounds like a beautiful thing. I think they just create a calm thing, and it's at least a distraction because you're there, and if you've ever had to do it from a family member, So they have a big long line. There's more and more people coming up. Oh, it's just completely exhausting. And if there was like a dog there, maybe for a second you could sit down and just pet a dog and just go, okay, I'm back. Get online, I'm ready, take a number. Here we go. All these people saying things. My mama's cat was 13 in human years. Oh, hit by a car 3 weeks ago. Oh, I am so sorry. I have 3 rat terriers and 2 cats left. They are my world. God bless you. I agree, Paul. It's so sad. Yeah, the cats, it's a really tough thing because my cat was a feral cat and we keep him inside, but I know he wants to go out. I know it, but I did have a cat lost to a pack of dogs, and so, you know, we keep them inside, but I know they want to be out. But I guess those are some of the things that happen in the real world, and it is you try to wrestle with it. You give them a shorter life that maybe they'd have more fun, or do you keep them inside and they're looking out the window at squirrels? It's really hard, but it sounds like at 13 years your mom's cat had a really good life. Oh no, the WooFDrivers just said mortuary frisbees might sell. Well, they might. I mean, it could be a good distraction, I think, because, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's just awful, believe me. So I'll just say it here because I haven't done all my will stuff. I will allow dogs, any dogs. Forget about, you know, these dogs that are therapy dogs. Bring all the dogs. Fill the entire place with dogs. And cats. Make it interesting. And chickens, whatever. Oh, a new film is opening up this weekend. This film, I know you might have seen the trailer for. It is called The Secret Life of Pets. Have you heard about this one? I saw a trailer, and I have to admit, I'm not a big animated film person. I don't know why, but this one looked pretty funny. And okay, I did cry during Toy Story, and they say this comes from the people who produced Despicable Me, but they said it's very much like Toy Story. There's likable characters, but it's not really corny or anything. But it said that one of the reviews said this movie is a movie every animal lover needs to see. Animated film from the people of Despicable Me, and some of the people who are voicing the animals and also the people characters are Louis C.K., Eric Stonestreet, Kevin Hart, Albert Brooks, Ellie Kemper, and Dana Carvey. And one person, do you remember Lorraine Newman? If you ever watched Saturday Night Live from way back, she was one of the original cast members, like when they had like, just everybody, you know, Dan Aykroyd and everybody like that, Gilda Radner. She was kind of skinny and she had long hair, but she was one of the first characters, and then she kind of, I don't know, you never saw her in movies or anything or TV shows where a lot of people on there go on to other things. And I looked for her in Wikipedia a while back. I was like, I wonder whatever happened to Lorraine Newman. And she had done a whole lot of films, but she's a voice actress. So she does a whole bunch of like the little animal voices and people and kids and cartoons. And she's one of the, in her, she had a credit that just says lots of voices. So I guess she's little dogs and people and everything else. So that's so cool. Well, and Rotten Tomatoes, that's that website that does a lot of the reviews. They collect all the reviews from all, like, either just people like me going to a movie, but also all like the top critics from all over the world. They give it a 75, and they expect this weekend for it to make close to $100 million. That's this weekend. It's already, I checked before I did this, it was up to $70 million. So this is a huge summer hit, which is great because a lot of the other films this year are bombing for whatever reason, and there just hasn't been like a huge summer movie in the works so far, but they're thinking this is going to be great and it's good for the whole family, so it's going to be a huge film. Let me see what people are saying. I wonder if that says doggy. It says doggy, that's maybe a cat, out one time, and a big dog attacked her. Many bills almost lost her. Yeah, I agree. It's dachshund. It's tough. Marcia says, I want to see that movie. I do too. I thought it looked really cool, Secret Life of Dogs. Oh, do I have a picture of that? I saw a picture. I didn't print it up, but I saw a picture of here they are. Look at this. Look at these little dogs. Don't they look cute? Well, that's a cat, I guess. And 2 dogs. Oh. Paul says, we'll be sure to see this movie for sure. Yeah, I gotta see it. It looks really cute. Now, I don't want to be crying. No more cry. I mean, when I'm crying in Toy Story 2, that's pretty bad. Oh, he's giving his toys. He's giving his toys away. I don't want to be crying. Don't let any of the dogs die. I don't think they will. I'm sure they won't. No dying dogs. Imagine, okay, so let's say, do you know what a meme is? You probably do, and maybe you don't even know the words. But meme is that thing, like all the times the internet, like on Facebook, they'll have a photo, and then within the photo, they'll have like a bold text done, like they'll write something goofy. Sometimes it's political, sometimes it's funny. But this guy, let me look at his name. Oh yeah, this guy, Dan Morton. So he's looking for a funny picture to put on Facebook, and he wanted to, what did he want? Pretty please. He wanted to write pretty please on it, and it'd just be like a funny picture, like maybe a dog or something. So he's looking on the internet for this. All of a sudden, he finds his dog who died 6 years ago. So this is the dog. So what happened was, somebody, what they think really happened, well, I'll show you the picture first, and you can see why people stole the picture off his daughter's Facebook page. But look at this picture. So this picture of his sweet little dog, Bailey. Bailey died 6 years ago, and his daughter put the picture on her Facebook page to just say Bailey has passed away. And evidently somebody, you know how people can just take your pictures if they want, and somebody snagged this picture and then made something of it, you know, a lot of the ones. So people, it got to like so they did stuff like this. It says, I got you ice cream, but I eated it. It's all, a lot of times memes have a kind of strange spelling. I like this one. I thought you were done with that shoe. So it's all like people saying stuff. Let me see what else they said. Oh, a lot of people just wrote, I'm sorry, because the dog like looks sorry. So they would stick those, you know, that text on it and then send it all over the internet. It has memes with different languages. It's been passed around thousands of times. And they were just like shocked, like, why our dog? They're just like taking it. But let me read some of the things that they've used it for. Oh yeah, I thought you were done with that shoe. And then people said, oh, one of them said, is Ryan Gosling cuter than a puppy? And then showing that puppy. Then they said news stories were picking it up. So one story was for an Airbnb house rental service where a customer had wrecked the house. And evidently they just used that photo like, oh, too bad, wah, wah. And then another one, an article that said, why skipping a workout is okay. And they just have that picture. I mean, it really has nothing to do with anything, but you just look at it, such a cute dog and everything. But his owners, they said it was kind of sentimental because, you know, their dog had died 6 years ago, and of course they think of him, but just seeing these pictures now all over has kind of made them nostalgic and missing him on a lot of levels. But they said it also made them remember what a great dog he was. And so I wanted to read a little bit about what he was. Said, remembered as a fun-loving dog who loved to play tug of war with his blankie, and he loved to fetch and would join in. If you started howling like a dog, he'd start you know, howling too. And they said he brought his owners a lot of joy in his life, and he's still making people smile all around the world. So I don't know, it's kind of weird to see your dog being passed around the internet, but in a way it's kind of like he's living on through eternity, and it is a really great picture. At first Dan was saying that, they were saying, is that really our dog? And they're going, no, that's our carpet, that's our wall. I mean, you almost start tugging yourself out of it, but it's pretty crazy. Oh, Paul says, oh, WooFDriver says, my volume is loud and clear, so not the output. Oh, maybe somebody said they couldn't hear it. Oh, even though I am in my wheelchair, you can bet I will be first in line. Well, that's a cool thing, at least in theaters now that I'm seeing, you know, they always have that space in between the two sections where you can hopefully get down there and be right in line and definitely see the movie, because I agree, it looks really cool. I'm definitely going to see. I'm actually going to the movies tonight, but not seeing that. I'm going with a group of friends. I can't remember the name of the movie we're seeing. I used to have Akitas and hybrid wolves in Colorado. Who is that? Paul. Paul, I was almost going to do a story tonight. I saw about, I guess, a half, well, I guess it would be a hybrid wolf, a half wolf dog. They were saying it was the saddest dog, and they were showing a picture in a shelter with this dog, and then I guess when they maybe did some of the work on it and looked at it, it's like, well, actually, it's half of a wolf. So they're getting it back to health and everything, but I would love to see Bear Dog all over. Do you know, I never saw Bear Dog. Is that a good movie, Sarah? I gotta check that out. I'm trying to think of movies. I was looking at some of the top dogs that people liked. The one that I didn't see, what is that movie? Is it Marley and Me? Oh, there's somewhere it's like really sad. I couldn't bring myself to see it, but people say that's one of the best dog movies ever, but I just couldn't take it. But yeah, I'm trying to think of any other really great dog movies. I mean, I've seen like Lassie as a kid and stuff like that. I would love to. I used to have an Akita. Yeah, I think I'm getting to everybody. Well, I wanted to tell you a little bit of what's going on next week. It's kind of crazy. So I'm not sure if you're doing yoga while you're watching me. I think you're probably like downward dog, all types of positions that I can't do. But we have Doga coming up next week. Do you know what Doga is? It's yoga with your dog. Now, I'm not sure yoga with this dog. Well, maybe that's a yoga pose. You think that's a yoga pose? But hopefully, there's something for every size dog, every size person. Coming up next week, there's going to be shows to teach us how to do yoga with our dogs. Now, all I've seen is the photos of our amazing instructors. And at first I was thinking, well, that's not something I'm going to do. But I'm telling you, after seeing just how much fun it looks like with the dogs, it was like great. They're like doing these like stretches and holding the dogs. Oh, kind of made me think, I don't know, maybe I'd try it. So I'm down for it. And you guys, okay, join me. It's a pact. It's a pack. It's a pack, like a dog pack. We're going to, and a pact. We're going to do the Doga together. So let's do it. Let's give them a big, when they come on next week, it's Susie and Kimberly. When they come on next week, I think one's coming next week, one the week after, give them a big wolf pack welcome and make sure you ask them a bunch of questions, not while they're doing something where they're balancing. It might be hard to answer, but I think just give them a big welcome and I don't know, it'll be fun to watch it and see if we can get something out of it. I've never done it. Have any of you done Doga before? Wow, snow dogs. Yes, I would love to see my bear dog, snow dogs and 8 degrees. Oh, I remember that. Snow dogs. I never saw that movie either. I'm feeling like I haven't seen any dog movies. Well, I've had a great time connecting with you guys. It's always fun to catch up on a weekend. I hope you have a really great time, no matter what you're watching for, where you're coming in from. I just want to say that I really appreciate all the comments and all posting of the pictures. And hey, we've got a new website, which I'd really love you to go to. It's All Dog Network, ALLDOGNETWORK.com. It's got all types of stuff up there and all our profiles. You can find out about me and all the other hosts. And then we're going to have pages where you can link to be able to ask me questions directly. Because I get some of these and I always check. A Dog's Tale is a sad and great movie. Hayachi, A Dog's Tale. Oh boy. Sarah, we love you. Thank you so much. I love you. And well, I really appreciate everything and I have a lot of fun catching up and doing these shows with you guys. So make sure you stay tuned and watch everybody else because they're all fun. I can't keep up with everybody, but every time I do, I'm always like, wow, I can't miss another show of them because I'm getting something from every single person I'm watching. It's really fun. Learning more and more about dogs and kind of getting to know you guys better because I'm reading what you're saying and everything. So have a nice couple of days. I'll be back next Wednesday about the same time. Have a great couple of days. Look, I have secret powers. Come on, go back on. Woof, woof. All right, good seeing you. Bye now.